Hey guys, Lukasz here. Today we're in Shibuya. We're going to do some street and urban photography, and I'm going to use both the GR III and the GR IIIx. And I want to talk about how these two cameras complement each other. That means I'm not going to necessarily shoot each spot with both cameras and compare how they're different. Instead, at any given spot, I'm going to use one or the other camera, and I'm going to explain why I think that camera is suited for that spot. The idea being that if you carry them both, you can use them as different tools for different jobs. Okay, but just before we get to the main part of the video, I want to let you know about the hashtag that RICOH is promoting, the #shootgr_your_city, so #shootgr_Tokyo for me. And when you post your photos with that hashtag, other GRists, GR photographers can see them, and we can all see each other's work with these great cameras. All right, and of course, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave any comments that you might have about this video, especially questions, and I'll be glad to go in there personally and answer them. All right, so let's get on with shooting. All right, so actually we were gonna go in and then we kind of backed it up because I realized I want to shoot the front of this alley to begin with. And this is a case where I'm going to use the GR III, not the X. I'm not even going to touch it for this scene because this kind of scene, I like to get a lot of things in, and it's a pretty tight scene, right? I don't have a lot of room to back up. Actually, I do have some room in that direction, but if I back up, I'm going to get a lot of stuff on the side that I don't want to see. So therefore, I don't want to back up. So I'm going to frame it up like this. And by the way, this is a place I've shot a million times before. We've shot this in previous videos before, but I thought it was a good place to illustrate this point. And just so you know about my settings, right now I'm on M mode with auto ISO, with a max ISO of 6400 and a minimum shutter of 250, but that minimum shutter doesn't apply because I'm on M mode. So my actual shutter is 1/50 and f5.6, okay? And I'll get one more here. And so why I like the wider lens in this scene is because I can get the alley, the buildings down here, but I'm also seeing that skyscraper up there. And I just know that with 40mm, it would be difficult from this position to get that building in the scene as well. Okay, so let's go in the back of this little alley here. And there's more of this kind of street view. Okay, and here as well. Same deal, the GR IIIx, I mean, I could take a photo here, it wouldn't be a bad photo, but because of the nature of this scene, I just find it better to use the regular GR III with the wider lens. Because I want to see the, you know, all these nice leading lines on the sides. I want to see more of this scene than less of it. I want to get it all in, so to speak. And here, truly, I don't have really any room to back up. If I wanted to get more of it in, I'd have to back up, and as you can see, there's nowhere for me to back up to. Okay, nice. Simple shot. Let's keep going through here. So yeah, to summarize it, in this kind of environment, a narrow alleyway, I'm a fan of the GR III. But again, not to say that I cannot use the GR IIIx for this. I could, but this gives me a little bit more flexibility. Let me just see if there's a shot here, but yeah, even a shot like this, I love the way there's these corrugations on the little rooftop here. And then I got a person going through in the background. Okay, let's keep going. We're gonna explore Shibuya a little bit today. I'm not sure which area we're gonna go to. I'm gonna just sort of follow my nose. The big famous crossing in Shibuya is on the right over here. I kind of want to avoid it just because it's been there, done that kind of thing. I want to go this way over here. We're going to go this side. And like I said, I want to use the different cameras for different scenes, but because I already have the GR III in my hand, I'm going to keep it in my hand. I'm going to keep using it until I see an opportunity to switch. Okay. All right, there we go. This cool, what is this thing? Corvette over here. This is a case where, I mean, kind of either camera is fine, but I sort of prefer the wide one because I can get the whole car a little bit better. Just looking around for cool stuff to shoot. I would love to do something with this cool car that ties it in with the rest of the scene somehow, so it's not just the car, you know. It's nice, but I want to include something else. I don't know what. So I'm kind of looking over my shoulder and I'm just thinking, what can I do? So forgetting about the car for a second, let's see here. Maybe there's some cool reflections here we can do with these mannequins and faces. And here, I'm gonna switch because I think a slightly longer focal length will be better for this. So I'm gonna go with the 40 here, the GR IIIx. I'm gonna go to f2.8, and I wanna, yeah, that's better. And I wanna do something with the mannequin and this woman's face here on this poster. And again, I'm making a point in this video to not take out the other camera and show you guys the difference. You can just imagine, that if I had a wider lens with what I'm framing right now, I would see more on the sides. And I would see a lot of stuff that I don't necessarily want in the shot. Okay, let's see if I can do this some other way. I mean, honestly, this is kind of cool. And what I would love to get is somebody coming in and out of there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe from here, some people coming through. Yeah. Yeah, that ultimately wasn't very interesting, but to try to maximize my chances for that shot, I think the GR IIIx was better because I couldn't necessarily get close enough to clean up my frame as much as I did with this focal length. And so, you know, and if I had the wider one, I would have to get closer. Or I would stay where I am and I would see more stuff and it would have been a bit more of a messy or cluttered scene. So this is what I mean by the cameras complement each other, in that if you have both available to you, you can use different focal lengths for these different scenes. I mean, this is kind of obvious because this is why zoom lenses exist, right? If you have a different camera with a zoom lens, you have all these different focal lengths. Or a set of primes, right? But the idea for me is that these two specific focal lengths are different enough, but close enough that you really can use them in the same environment. It's not like, you know, if the GR IIIx was like a 100mm lens, that would really completely change where and what you can shoot. But these are just different enough that it's, you know, you can approach things differently, but you're still going to shoot the same environment. You're still going to do street urban photography with them very effectively with either camera. It's kind of neat. I tried to do like a multi-subject sort of thing there, but it wasn't that interesting. Let's see if we can do something with these arrows over here. These big red arrows. This is again where the X, which I have in my hands, should be better. There we go. A little underexposed here. Yeah, that's super mega interesting scene, but kind of cool. I wish the big red arrow was over there, like closer to the edge. I wonder if we can also do something with the reflection here in this mirror. Okay, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Real quick. It's kind of a nice view of the city over there. Can we do something with the mirror in the city if we do this? So, doing this kind of a scene where I want to have the mirror on the edge of my frame is going to be better with the other GR, with the non-X, because it's wider. So I can get very close to the surface, okay, and then still see plenty of the background here. So I'll make sure my settings are all correct. Let's change cameras. So there we go. So now I'm going to focus. Oh yeah, look at that. And now I'm getting much more of the mirror, and therefore a much stronger effect. And this is where I would love to have that cool white Corvette from before. That was a nice car. It would look great in this scene, where I'm doing it right now. Okay, I did it on f4. Let's try it on f8 to get as much in focus as possible. I'm on 1/10 of a second. All right. Yeah, that's kind of cool. With the motion blur, it's cool. So taking advantage of the stabilization. All right. Yeah, I think you can really see what I mean by this kind of a scene is definitely better on the 28mm GR, the regular GR III, not the X, because you can see more of this reflection in the scene. That was good. My arms are getting tired from holding it up like that. Okay, we'll move on. And once again, well, first of all, I'm going to change my settings back to something a little more reasonable. Those are a little bit crazy with the f16 and aperture mode. And so once again, I'm going to keep the GR that was last in my hand for whatever the next scene is. I'm not going to flip around back and forth. Some cool architecture over here. This is pretty cool, intense, nice lines. Oh yeah, I like this a lot. And this was definitely a OG GR3 scene, not a GR IIIx scene. Although if I only had the X, I would have still shot it. It would have been a little bit less wide, of course. And I still think it would look good. But if I had to choose, the ideal camera for that scene for me was the regular GR III. I love the reflection on the building over there, reflecting the city behind. And here, I'm actually thinking we're going to switch, because I'm going to shoot it once on this one, and we're going to go to a slower time. I'm going to go to 50th of a second on M mode. There we go. But, you know, this is a case where I am doing both. I said I might not do that, but I think it actually does make sense for this scene. Just to, since I already had that one in my hand, just to try it, but then to do it on the 40. And the 40, I want to do it vertically right away. And yeah, I like both. See here, this is a kind of a border case. Well, I like both. From where I'm standing and the look of it, I think both look good. Let me look at the other one again. So this is why I don't want to constantly switch. Juggling them back and forth is not ideal. But yeah, with the wider shot from the regular GR, I'm getting a lot of these buildings on the left side, which can look cool. They're not bad necessarily. I don't hate them or anything. But I really just wanted to focus on the reflection inside the facade of this glass tower over here. Let's keep going. So now we're keeping the X from the last shot. By the way, it's sounding so complicated as I talk and narrate what I'm doing, but if I was just out here on my own shooting, this would be a lot more smooth and free form. I would just like take out and shoot this one. It wouldn't be like a big deal to switch. Now it's like I'm thinking about my settings, and as I'm vocalizing everything to you guys in the video, it's a little bit, it's a little bit much. Here we go, this is cool with this plane. And this is definitely a GR IIIx shot, not a regular GR III, because it would have been a little too wide. I would have gotten a lot more stuff, like this red pole maybe, that I didn't really want in the shot. Okay, that's pretty cool. Simple, but interesting. All right, let's keep going. A lot of people come in. I might try to shoot down from here. These guys on the bike here. That's nice. That's a nice scene. But yeah, I like this view. Again, I'm on the X. I think the X makes sense here. I think if I was on the regular GR III, it would be a little bit too wide. Forgetting the cyclist, I love this like machinery down here. This is very cool. Slow down the shutter here a little bit. I love this like gritty, strange, duct work and pipes and stuff. All right, well, let's keep going up. I do like this beautiful golden sunshine over here. So this is kind of interesting. This shape of these things here, these like decorative looking walls, this is an homage to what used to be here. So this is all, you can probably tell, very new and recently redeveloped. But back in back in the day, even 10 years ago when I first came to Japan, or like 12 years ago now, there was a train station here. So this was the I want to say the Denentoshi line. I forget which line, but whatever. I think it's the Denentoshi line. Had its actual platforms here, and the trains would run from here. And then the station had this cool, this design on the sides, decorated. And then here on the ground, you see these lines. So these are train tracks. Not anymore. This is just stone. But this signifies where the tracks used to be on the train station. So that was the platform. This was the station. But they moved it all underground. So that train line now runs underground, like a metro line, and it doesn't surface above ground until like, you know, a mile or two down the tracks, like way down there, after it leaves the center. So, but they kind of rebuilt it and like in spirit, right? Because it had this cool look, and they put these, tracks, you know, to signify where the tracks used to be. This is kind of cool. There's light here. It's pretty neat. Now the hard part is going to be getting a cool subject. Maybe that guy way back there. This is again where I think the 40 is better. All right. That's not bad. Did I get in sharp? Yes, I did. We'll move on. I'm happy with that. No need to wait for too many other people. And so, but you can tell that I'm having the 40 here, right? Yes, I do. The GR IIIx. So just looking at that framing, if I had the other GR, the 28, it would have to be a lot wider. I would get a lot more in, and I don't think it would look quite as good. So let's go down this little staircase here. Okay, that was a very long walk with nothing to shoot. So we'll probably cut most of that, but whatever, we're here. So I want to shoot from these walkways because there's some cool views looking down. Let's just get into a different position. And I'm going to shoot this with the 40. Now the last time I shot here, I shot this scene before, but I did it on the 28, okay? The original GR III. So it's looking quite a bit different. I might actually do this one on both. Okay. All right, it's a nice scene. Kind of dark right now, actually. I'm surprised how low the light has gotten so quickly. But it is what it is. Now I wonder if I can combine like this reflection here on this surface. Now see here, I might actually switch to the other. Oh, here we go. Hold on a second. This might be good. So, okay, if I want a simpler scene, it's better on the 40 because I want to have less things in it. So it's easier to simplify it, right? Okay, that's not the most interesting subject right now. That's down there. But you get the idea. And so now there's more people coming in. So it's just less, it's a bit less interesting. It's getting a little bit busy. Okay. So let's try with the other camera. Okay. And now I can use this chrome thing in the foreground much more easily to create some interesting reflections. I might not use the green area anymore, but okay, it's tricky. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I don't really like the subject beyond, but I do like this idea of combining the inverse with the regular street. Basically, there's a bunch of different ways we can shoot this, and this is a case where actually both cameras have their own pros and cons. So I can shoot it in a more messy way with the wide one, or a more simple way with the 40mm with the GRX. Right? Okay, one last shot. All right, so I don't want to keep waiting for like a single simple subject. Let's just keep going. Not that interesting. Oh, wait. Maybe those people down there are good. But this is definitely a case where the 40 makes a little more sense to me because things are far. Okay. Let's go down here. Oh, this ramen shop is also really cool, just before we continue on. I like it. And this is also, I think, better with the X, because I like to stand farther away and then kind of zoom in on the details there by standing far and using a longer focal length, rather than getting really close, which I would have to do on the GR III. Great. And so here is this smoky yakitori place, right? And they have this grill out in the front. And again, I think it makes sense for me to shoot this with a longer lens and get this nice, I don't want to say flat sounds negative, but like a nice simple scene where, you know, I'm just getting like the facade of the building with all the stuff out front and the guy in there cooking, right? Might even back up a little more. Then you're thinking, well, why are you backing up? Why don't you just take the GR III? It's true, I could do that. Might do that in a second. But when you back up, it makes the perspective more sort of clean. Things are less distorted because you're looking at everything from far away. Okay? But then it's also possible to shoot up close, right? If I want to see the guys actually in there grilling. Okay? And then maybe the 40 is okay. I mean, this works. Actually, I quite like this. This is really nice. Okay, but then if I switch, right, switch cameras. Okay, then from here I'm a little too far, so I have to get much closer. And then again, that changes the perspective quite a bit. But with the wider perspective, I can get a little bit of both worlds, so to speak, like the interior and the exterior, which would be tricky to do on the 40mm. So depending more on how you like to shoot, you're going to like one over the other a bit more. I personally prefer the X a little bit more because just of how I like to shoot, especially these days. Okay, but it doesn't mean that sometimes when I'm out shooting with the X and I don't have the regular GR III with me, because usually I only bring one, to be honest, then I'm sort of thinking like, oh man, I kind of wish I had the GR III today. So maybe it's good to carry both, right? But if I don't have a bag, just with pockets, it's a little too much to just choose one. All right, so anyway, I hope you guys got some good ideas about how the GR III and the GR IIIx complement each other and how you can use them in conjunction for your urban and street photography. All right, so thank you so much for watching today. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you'd like more content like this. And of course, please leave comments and questions below, and I'll happily, personally answer them as best as I can. All right, so thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.